So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, I want to give my prediction for Canelo Smith. A massive fight. And Canelo obviously being the biggest star in the sport, one of my favorite fighters, one of all of our favorite fighters. Um, it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight. You know, I've made quite a few videos on Callum Smith Canelo. Is because I'm excited about the fight and I like the fight. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a fight which a lot of people are overlooking. I think people don't give Canelo enough respect for his resume and what he want and who he wants to take on. He wants to be the best, and I think under De La Hoya he felt a bit suppressed in the sense that he couldn't control his own career. Now that he's broken free, I think you're going to see Canelo take on everybody that everybody wants to see him fight. I believe this fight with Callum Smith is obviously a great fight for Canelo, and a lot of people have given Canelo a lot of stick. It doesn't matter who Canelo fights, he's going to get a lot of stick. If he fights Billy Joe Saunders, a lot of the American fans will say, oh, he's fighting a nobody, who's Billy Joe Saunders? And same with Callum Smith, because they don't know him, they think he's fighting a bum. Here in the UK, obviously we know he's fighting a good fighter. Some people in the UK even think he's cherry picking, he should have fought Saunders or someone else because of Smith's performance against Ryder. But I think he's fighting one of the most challenging guys in the 168-pound division. Callum Smith's a legit guy. He's tall, he's strong, he can punch, he's a good boxer. And I've said what I believe he needs to do if has a chance to win this fight. He needs to keep the fight long. He needs to keep Canelo at the end of that jab. He needs to keep Canelo at distance. He can't afford to let Canelo get on the inside and start smashing his body up. Because when you see someone like Callum Smith, who's long, very tall, and he's obviously got a lot of physical advantages over Canelo. His height, reach, all of that. So he's got massive advantage. But Canelo will be targeting that body, smashing that body, and you do worry if Canelo starts smashing that body, because Canelo is known to put people over with body shots. He may slow Callum Smith down. Also, we don't know what Callum Smith's chin's like at that kind of elite level, because we know Canelo's a big puncher and he can wipe you out. Even if he may not be able to wipe Callum Smith out with one punch, because Callum Smith is the bigger man here, I think he could break him down and hurt him. But like I said, I think Callum Smith needs to keep Canelo at distance. He needs to be able to hurt Canelo. Eddie Hearn was right when Eddie Hearn said that Callum Smith needs to be able to hurt Canelo, because if you're not able to hurt Canelo, there's a very limited chance of you winning. Because Canelo's like a very intelligent bull, like I've said. He's a very skilled bull. He's not just a guy that keeps walking at you and coming at you. He's a guy that's very skilled setting traps while doing it. He's very intelligent, which bulls aren't very known for that. They're just known for coming at you recklessly, wildly, whereas Canelo doesn't come at you recklessly and wildly, comes at you like a bull, but very intelligently, setting traps along the way. That's what makes Canelo, for me, a special talent, because you get a lot of fighters that are strong, that have that kind of walk forward pressure fighter style, but they don't have the intelligence, the ring IQ of a Canelo generally. And that's what makes Canelo so difficult. But if you're able to hurt Canelo, or not even necessarily hurt him where you're knocking him down or hurting him, just able to keep him wary of your power, like you hit him with a shot and he's like, whoa, this is powerful. You know, if Callum Smith has that kind of power and can get Canelo to respect his power, then he can keep him at the end of the jab. But if Canelo doesn't respect Callum Smith's power and he's willing to take one to get inside, then I think Callum Smith has got a huge problem, because I think Canelo, if he gets on the inside, Canelo's got serious power. And that's going to affect Smith, because Canelo, like I said, is like a bull. He may be a small bull in this fight, but he's still very strong. Very strong. Canelo is very strong dude, and he's not a guy that he's fought bigger guys all his career in the sense that he's moved up weight to middleweight. He's fought Kovalev. He doesn't really get bullied around. He's very physically strong as well. He's not a guy that, is physically weak. He's physically very strong. He's physically just a beast of a guy. And I think Callum Smith needs to keep him long. He needs to keep this fight long. If he keeps this fight, if this fight Canelo gets on the inside like Ryder did, it's big trouble. Big trouble for Callum Smith. I like Callum Smith. I've always been a big fan of Callum Smith, by the way. Always been a big fan. I think he's a classy guy. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's got a great left hook. He's got a great right hand. He's got a lot of tools, Callum Smith. A very good fighter. Listen, I think a lot of the British public have been disrespecting Callum Smith after that Ryder fight. Yes, listen, the fight was close and he probably lost, but at the end of the day, I think that we're looking too much into that fight. This is going to be a very highly motivated Callum Smith. I thought he put in a great performance against George Groves. Although it was a washed-up George Groves and a George Groves that was completely done. But still, the performance was very mature. It was a very good, solid performance. Of course, he's fighting a guy that's different class and different level in Canelo. Canelo's a different kind of fighter. He's a different class of a fighter than George Groves. You know, he's got a better chin. He can take more punishment. Also, he's a lot more skilled. He's got a lot more tools in his box. He's in my opinion, more powerful puncher. He's a better body puncher than Groves, and Groves was a great body puncher, but Canelo's body attacks are vicious and on another level. He's also a guy that is very hungry every time he comes in the ring. He lives the life. He doesn't blow up between fights like someone like George Groves used to blow up between fights. You know, you used to see him very heavy. And Canelo Alvarez, he just lives the life, man. He's an absolute beast of a guy. Yes, there's that asterisk around his name because of the fact that he failed a drugs test. But at the end of the day, in terms of a fighter, in terms of his skills are on another level. I really hope as a Brit, Callum Smith can pull this off. I like Callum Smith. I've always thought he's a very good fighter, and I've always had good things to say about Callum Smith. I've always thought the guy was he was one of those guys that I felt the good fighters that we've had in Britain over the last 10-15 years, the Hay, the Khans, the Froches, I've always felt that Callum Smith could be among those names. But he just doesn't seem to get the big fights. He hasn't seemed to get the big fights. He hasn't been able to fight the top names, unfortunately. And this is his first opportunity, really, at the top level. And unfortunately, he's coming against, in my opinion, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And that's where I think someone like Callum Smith needed fights with, like, Billy Joe Saunders. He needed fights with Andrade. He needed fights with Benavidez. He needed fights with those type of guys, Caleb Plant, before he got in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. You know, you're kind of going from fighting John Ryder, George Groves, Rocky Fielding, Skoland, like to fighting Canelo. I just think there's too much of a jump. There's too much of a jump for him to have any chance of pulling this off. I think you can't go from the level that he's been fighting at to beating Canelo. I just don't think it works like that. I think you need to have a more structured career where you're fighting more top level fighters, and then you get the big fight, and then you get that massive fight when you're more experienced, where you've had that experience at world level. Callum Smith's not really had much experience at world level. Who's he really fought at world level? You know, even John Ryder, he's a fringe world level guy. He's not really an elite, like even Groves, for example. Groves was a good world class level fighter, but he was never elite level, and he was never. He wasn't in his prime when he fought. What's his name? Smith. So I just think that, you know, your career needs to be structured a lot better. You need to fight more world-class guys, former world champions, guys that are not Canelo, and then build yourself up to a Canelo fight. But he's kind of like had easy touches along the way, and then he's jumping straight up to Canelo, and it never ends well when you jump levels like that. It doesn't end well usually. It's usually most guys come unstuck when they jump levels, you know. And my prediction for this fight is, I hope I'm wrong, but you know, I've backed the underdog many times over the last, you know, couple of fights. But this one, I'm going for Canelo knockout, late stoppage. I think Canelo will knock Callum Smith out late. Unfortunately, I think I have to be real. I have to give my prediction. And I just can't see Smith having enough experience if he catches Canelo with something. But then the other thing is Canelo's got a granite chin. He's got a granite chin. So it just looks bleak when you look at it. And then the fact is, even if Smith manages to have some success and the fight's close, because I can't see Smith dominating the fight. I can't see Smith just completely washing Canelo like Mayweather did. I don't see him getting a points win. So I don't see him dominating the fight at all. Even if the fight's close and he manages to make it close, he's not going to get the decision. But if I'm honest with you, I don't even see the fight going to points. I think Canelo will stop him late. I think Canelo will stop Callum Smith late, just because I think Canelo will break him down. And like I said, that body's a big target. It's a big target. And Canelo's got he's got a lot to aim at. And I just can't see Smith avoiding the body attacks. And I just think Canelo's got too much about him. He's got too much experience at world level. And Callum Smith, on the other hand, is very inexperienced at world level. Yes, he's undefeated and he never lost before, but at the end of the day, this is levels that he's jumping. This is levels to what this is like couple of levels jump up from anything he's faced in his career. So I just think that Canelo will stop him late. But that's my prediction. That's my opinion. You never know. There have been guys that have jumped up levels and managed to win fights in the past. And let's not forget, he's also got a lot of physical advantages in this fight. He's also a big dude. He's also a guy in his prime. He's got reach, height. He's got all of that in his side. So he could potentially use that in his favor. Can he use that? Has he got the skills to be able to do that? Only time will tell. We'll find out tonight. We'll find out this morning or Sunday morning here in the UK. But yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. What chance do you give Callum Smith? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Make sure to smash that like button, and guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.